The Supreme Court has ruled to uphold the Affordable Care Act. In a 7-2 ruling, the court tossed out a Republican-led legal battle targeting Obamacare. The decision says the red states and 2 individuals who brought the dispute do not have legal standing to challenge the constitutionality of the law's individual mandate to buy insurance. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson. She is also a professor at Loyola Law School. Hi, Jessica. Great to see you. So break down this decision on the Affordable Care Act for us. What was really at play?
Well, what was at play was potentially a lot. Potentially, the question wasn't just whether or not this individual mandate that requires people to buy health insurance or otherwise pay a penalty, which is now 0, was itself constitutional. But there was a lower court decision by the Fifth Circuit that said, once you strike down that individual mandate, the entire Affordable Care Act is unconstitutional. So the reason that so many people were waiting for this decision and that, people were like me were frantically pushing refresh at 10 a.m. this morning is that a lot hung in the balance. There are millions of people who depend on the Affordable Care Act in part for their insurance. If the pandemic has showed us anything, it's that Americans really do rely on the health insurance systems. And so to the point of what happened in this case, we thought, or at least I thought going into this, that I was going to be saying to you, well, here's what happened today. President Obama's crowning legislative achievement is the Affordable Care Act. One provision was if you don't buy health insurance, then you pay a penalty. Fast forward to the Trump administration, that penalty is zeroed out, and it's challenged now on the grounds that if there's no penalty, it no longer looks like a tax. And the only reason that the Supreme Court upheld it in 2012 is that a penalty means it looks like a tax and Congress has taxation authority. So I thought I was going to be telling you the individual mandate was struck down, but the rest of the Affordable Care Act stands. Instead, what we're talking about is the idea that the Supreme Court just punted and they said, we don't have the right person who came into court. We don't have the right state. We don't have the right individual. So they dismissed the case on something called standing. And that's why the rest of the Affordable Care Act stands today.
Right. It's interesting. They didn't rule on the core challenge. They ruled on the inappropriateness of the plaintiffs, correct?
Absolutely right. They didn't get to those big questions, which I probably spent too much time just talking about the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act. Instead, they didn't get to the merits at all. This was all about, do the states, do the individual plaintiffs have something called standing to sue? What does standing mean? It means if you want to sue in federal court, if you want those federal court doors to open for you, you have to be the right person, meaning you have a real concrete injury. And if you win, that resolution will bring you real relief. And what the court said today is, look, zeroing out a penalty, you don't have enough of a harm here. What's your problem? We're not going to hear this case on the merits. And so this is the next chapter in the Affordable Care Act. And it wasn't so much upheld as not touched.
So I have a question. Is this a big blow then, Jessica, to those politically driven lawsuits that we're seeing more and more, when one group is really just trying to attack legislation that they don't agree with ideologically, but yet they don't necessarily have someone who is directly impacted by it?
I'm going to give you a lawyer's answer, which is, I think, probably yes, in the sense that what today's decision shows is that the court is very much still willing to use these procedural doctrines, these procedural hurdles, and given the hypothetical that you just laid out, where the plaintiffs really aren't particularly harmed, they just don't agree or they have a political argument with a particular law, then yes, this is still Chief Justice John Roberts' court, by which I mean we still have a Chief Justice who, if he can, wants to avoid those big controversial questions and find another way around these decisions. The standing doctrine is another way. As to your question about what does this mean going forward for the other cases, I think certainly there are plaintiffs around the country, not just who would be challenging the Affordable Care Act, but other laws where they're saying, okay, this is a Supreme Court who might toss out our particular case. I think it's such a good question that really not that many people are asking, which is, okay, this decision didn't make any law about congressional power. It made law about the standing doctrine. So what does that mean going forward?
Right. And, I want to ask about another case that the Supreme Court ruled on today. They ruled unanimously today on a Catholic foster care agency that refused to work with same-sex couples. Can you tell us what happened in this case?
Yeah, this was another blockbuster case that people were waiting for. And this is a case where it was more predictable. It continued the court's theme that we've seen for a while now of being very protective of individuals or groups who claim that their religious freedom has been burdened. In this case, as you said, there was a Catholic foster care agency, and they contracted with the city. And they contracted with the city to place children in homes to decide whether or not couples would be certified to obtain a foster child, to be a foster parent. And what this agency said is, we only are going to place kids in opposite sex couples, with opposite sex couples who are married. We're not going to certify any same-sex couples. The city of Philadelphia said, look, I'm sorry, but we have an anti-discrimination policy here, and you can't discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation. We're no longer going to ask you to certify families, and we're not going to renew our contract with you. The agency here went all the way to the Supreme Court. They lost in the lower courts. They went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they said, this is not acceptable. We have a real religious objection to placing kids in same-sex couples. And today the court said, we're vindicating your rights. We're a Catholic agency. We are saying that you do not have to comply with that anti-discrimination law. And this is a case that we've watched for so long because we've seen this come up, and it's going to come up again. The argument for religious freedom on the one hand, and then freedom from discrimination on the other hand. Really interesting, this was a unanimous decision.
Two very closely watched cases. Jessica Levinson, thank you so much for the deep dive you did with us. We appreciate it.
I hope not too deep. Thank you.